Hello, welcome to Romero Threads on YouTube, where it's all about embroidery, and welcome to the Saturday morning embroidery class. Today's class is actually not live, and that's because I am on duty, so I'm working today. So I went ahead and did a pre-recorded video because today we are actually working on a very fun project. This is a very popular project also. So of course, as embroiderers, we're always working with different types of industry, not just the business side, but of course the government side, first responder side, law enforcement, military. Okay, so today we are actually focused on one of the most popular designs ever, especially for embroidery, and that is the Fireman Patch. And here today I'm using Wacom 4.5. This is the software that I use, and of course, okay, I'm gonna try to keep it very basic. That way you can follow along with whatever digitizing software that you have. And of course, even though if you send out your digitizing services to a digitizer, it's still good to know the techniques, the vocabulary, and everything that it takes to digitize a certain object. So let's go ahead and let's get into the software. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's take it on to Wacom. Okay, I have my design here. So let's go ahead. Let's design the world famous Fireman Cross design. Okay, so here on my left, I have all my digitizing tools that I use. So I'll try to kind of change the combination just to kind of show you all the different types of tools that you might see. And of course, even if you send out your designs to a digitizer, it's still good practice to know the basics of digitizing. That way, if you need to make a quick change, it's no problem. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do the cross portion first. We have 8 corners of the firefighter patch. Okay, each corner has meaning behind it. Each of the objects signifies something. So of course, we want to make every object here, we want to make it look very clean and very sharp. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's start with this top portion. Okay, we're going to use the column C. Right, most digitizing software all has column C. Okay, so we're going to run a straight line here. Start curving here. Just want to follow this nice smooth curve. Of course, we want to use the minimum clicks possible. All right, if we ever have to go back and make any adjustments, it's just backspace, but for right now we're looking good. Okay, sharp corner there. All right. All right, here the software automatically sets it at 3 millimeters. Okay, I'm gonna adjust that. Let me make some adjustments. Change this color real quick, blue, just so we could see it. I'm gonna change it to a 3.5 millimeters. Okay, and then my corners, I want to put a miter corner here. Take out cap, put miter above 80. Okay, overlap. All right, so overlap here. So here it's kind of overlapping. I want to add more overlap, so I take it all the way to 105. All right, so it adds just adds a little bit more overlap. Okay, just makes it look a little bit more sharper. All right, and for underlay, let's add an underlay while we're here. Center run and double zigzag. Okay, so you could confirm that here. All right, and I want to push this. So you see the center line kind of running. It's following the exact location that I clicked on. I want to push it out a little bit. So let's go to special offset and see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to offset it to a 75, and it's going to push the center line outward. So see what happens here. All right, so it just pushed my whole sand stitched. Okay, so now it's kind of following this path a little cleaner. All right, so now it's like this. This is how it was before, inside, and I just pushed it out a bit. All right, so now it gives me more space. All right, so I have this top portion good to go. What I want to do, duplicate it, Control D, duplicate, so it's sitting right on top. I'm going to mirror. Okay, so it's mirror right above it. And let me put a negative sign on the Y axis. All right, and since we are perfectly symmetry, right, it should kind of match down below, but with a few adjustments. So I'm going to push it down a bit just so that center line is kind of like right in the middle. All right. All right, bam, we got half of that, and I'm going to duplicate this, and so it's right on top of each other. And I'm gonna change the angle 6 times. 6 times 15 equals 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam. All right. And same thing here. I want to kind of like push it out just so that center line is kind of like right on that center. 0. We're just centering this. Okay. Sometimes our design is kind of off a bit. All right, so I'm good now. Okay, let me see. Yep, looks good. So now let's go ahead and make this red, because this is going to be red. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of this circle here. Actually, before we even start that, let's start, we're going to start here down below as this one as our first one. And then I'm going to run a run stitch, take it up here. Okay, then I'm going to take another run stitch, place it here. And I'm going to tell you how this is going to go about. Oops. Okay, I'm going to go here, and then we do another running stitch. All right. So we're going to go bottom first, bottom, and then this one, this one, this one. All right, I just placed it in the correct order, and sequence by select, sequence, make this red, delete this one. Okay, bottom. Okay, I'm just checking my sequence. Line, left, line, top, line. All right, cool. Okay, the reason why I do this, so here on the right, if you look at trims, okay, I'm focused on trims. Of course, I don't want 7 trims here. So I have it in its proper order. I'm going to apply closest join. Okay, it has 2 trims now. All right, I should only have 1. So here it's giving an unnecessary cut. All right, H. I'm just gonna bring, actually, let me get this one, H. Let me just bring it closer to the cut. All right, remove the cut. All right, so all this is happening all in one shot with no cuts. Okay, we definitely do not want to introduce any unnecessary cuts. Let's bring back our design. And let's go ahead, let's use the ellipse circular tool. Okay, and let me select sand stitch. And let's go all around. All right, so it gave me a, let's make this red. All right, and then here is where I put the details. So I wanted 2 point, let's go 2.5. 2.5 is fine. 3, 2.8. All right, so we're good here. Okay, make sure this is centered here. Looks like it's a little off. All right. Put this centered. All right, let me see. Bam. Now, okay, you see my center line running down here. I actually want it to be kind of following this line here. So, once again, I'm going to offset it, put it at a 75. Nothing happened. 75. All right. Let's try 8. Let's try 80. All right. So that's good. I like that center run running here. Let's put a underlay, center run, and double zigzag is good. All right. Let's check this out. Bam. We have 2 trims. We only want 1. We want all this done in one shot. So H, this was our last one. Where does it end? So it ends here. So that means this, we want this to start here. All right, so that removed that trim. All right. Okay, we could have also used a apply closest joint right before that. So let me see. Let me remove that. Control Z, bring back that cut. We could just go apply closest joint to 1. Okay. So same thing there. Okay. All right. So we have the main portion here. All right. So we're looking good here. Let's see. And then real quick, in order to put this border around it, right? If you want to put a border, let's go ahead, select all, and we could put a simple offset. So this is just going to put a border around. Spacing is 2 millimeters. That's fine. Okay, let's see. All right. H. Let's just edit this border real quick because this little gap is giving us a little dimple right here. So let's remove that. All right, and then we're just going to remove these dimples. It's happening right here in this gap. Okay, so we could remove that. Bam, bam. All right, we're looking good. Let's color it black. And then let's just add a satin border and special 3 millimeters. Okay, that's fine. Now let's just, okay, because you see how it's too close to our red border. Let's put an offset and let's go 60, or let's go 80. All right, just give it some room. All right, bam. All right, so really if you want to make a patch, okay, easy way to make anything a patch. If you don't just want a traditional circle around it, you could actually put a border to kind of make a silhouette of your design. Okay, so just gives it a little bit more character. Okay, makes it look a little nice, gives it a little boldness. Also, if we're gonna cut this, all right, very easy to cut here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's hide what we have so far. So far we have 2 trims, all right, exactly, because we have 2 colors. Okay, so let's hide this just so we could go ahead and zoom in here. We're going to zoom into our objects. All right, so here we want to know what's on top of what. Okay, so really we have our objects, our firefighting equipment here on the outsides. And then we have the helmet right on top. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do the bottom part first. All right, let's do the bar first here. Okay, so I want a sand stitch here. All right, so I could just use column A, the classic. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm above 1.5. All right, so here I was at 1.8. And we could just close it up here a tad bit. All right, let me make this blue just so we can see a little better. Okay, let's run a running stitch. Okay, so we're going to continue moving. We definitely want to do all this with no unnecessary cuts. Here I'm going to use the complex turning, very useful tool. This is the one that I really used last week. All right, let's see. Just gonna follow the design right here. Oops. Oh. No, I want a sharp turn, so I need to put straight here and 2, 3. Okay, put the angle. All right, it's all about angles, putting the correct angle here. All right, and right now it's gonna give me a kind of little choppy sand stitches. All right, select that, and automatic knife. It's gonna clean it up here a bit. Okay, so it cuts it in 2 pieces. All right, very useful here. All right, so let's continue running. Let's go to our next. We could run down here. All right, so we have the horn or the bugle. Let's go. We'll just shape it out here. We're gonna turn this into a fill stitch. All right, let's give it a little curve here. Then let's continue the curve, and it's all about tracing here. Give it a little sharp turn right there. Okay, bam. Of course, once you master the tracing, okay, makes life a whole lot easy, makes you move faster. All right, I'm gonna turn this into a fill stitch. All right, so tatami here. Let's make this a underlay of center run. Make this a tatami underlay. All right, it's gonna look all choppy right now, okay, because this is everything that's going down below. Now here, I could go straight to this ladder. So let's go straight to this ladder here. Let's go. All right. Take it all the way up. And let's make here. Bam. All right, and then make the legs, the other side of the leg. Okay, I'm trying to follow the sequence of my stitch. Hold on, let me fix this. That was a bit too big. Okay, so what I'm saying is I'm trying to follow the sequence. So 1, run stitch. Oh, I forgot to put a run here. Okay, so after this first part, I want to run or walking stitch. Put it down here. All right, let's bring that over here. From here to here to here to here, here. Now I'm gonna walk. Okay, I think that's really the more time-consuming portion of digitizing, is trying to figure out the sequence, who's going first, what's going last, what's on top of what. All right, let's go here. I'm gonna take it to the top part. All right, let's take it here. I just gave it a sharp corner there to give it a little emphasis on the horn. And 2, 3. Give it an angle. Just give it the same angle, 1 angle. Okay, same thing. We're gonna make it a fill stitch. Okay, and underlay of tatami. All right. Bam, here, and then let's do this ladder here. So we're gonna walk our way up, and we want to do it in order. So I'm gonna do the rungs of the ladder first. Okay, so let me just check my distance. So I use this one, 1.55. All right. Okay, bam. Gonna do that. I'm gonna walk over here to the next one. Okay, I'm gonna select this one, copy, bring it down. All right, then I'll select this one, copy this one, and actually I don't need that. Let me make the leg. Make the leg here, so bam. Let's bring it over here. All right, it's a little too big, but we could H. Okay, we could bring it in a bit. All right, and let's copy, pull it up. So we're just duplicating. So in this program, it makes duplicating so easy because you just have to right click. All right, let's see. Let's bring these two nodes down a bit. All right, we're looking good right now. Now let's do the axe. So we finish here. So everything is being done in order, okay? And it's very important that we at least know what order we want our designs to be stitched at. Because right now I have nine cuts. Okay, I definitely don't want that many cuts, so we're gonna minimize that at the very end. Okay, so right here, let's trace the handle of the axe. Okay, and then we walk our way over to the other side. All right, now we create here. Okay, I am moving a little fast, okay, because that way we're not here forever. Okay, but if you do have a question about anything, okay, some stuff I kind of just, it's kind of like second nature, so it might be something that you've never seen, but if you do have a question, please let me know in the chat, because if you do have a question, please just, you can write it down on the chat, or if you're on the replay, okay, just leave it in the comments. All right, let's see, bam. All right, it's looking like chaos, all right? But just remember, this helmet is gonna go over all this center portion, okay? So right now, got all this, okay, 11 cuts. Everything is set in order. All right, so what I want to do, right click, apply closest joint, and cut everything in half, right? And so here, I want to make sure I don't have, so here I'm showing cuts. I don't want cuts. I only want a cut right here at the very end, at the axe. All right, so I want to start here. Okay, so let's do some investigation and see what's happening. Okay, so here, okay, I see why. H. All right, I need to do a running stitch. I need to do a walking stitch from, I can do it from here to here. All right, so at 20, so at 21, got to bring this guy here. All right, bam, and H. Let's stop right here. Okay, all right, let's see. Okay, it goes here, then it runs up to the rung here, and then let's do that leg, and then let's delete this. Okay, it goes here, does the leg, then it does this, and then it does bam. And then, okay, so what I gotta do, H, since we finished here, bring this guy over here. All right, so let's try with this one more time. Apply closest joint, bam, 3 trims, okay. So it removed everything here, all my cuts, except for the last one, okay, exactly what I wanted. All right, so usually when you sequence all your objects, right, correctly, you save time in that portion, right? But sometimes, you know, you miss something and you got to go back and catch that. All right, so I'm just verifying my underlays right here. Everything should be, my sand stitches should all be center runs. All right, so looking good, bam, bam. Okay, just verifying that. Okay, and now let's bring that up. These are all going to be yellow. Let's put this yellow right here and make it darker so you could see it a bit. All right, let me hide this. Let's go ahead. Let's take care of the Fireman Helmet. All right, I think it's one of the most important item, right, of all of our stuff here. Everybody knows the Fireman Helmet is like worldwide, internationally known. All right, of course, we want to get a good trace. And let's just continue our trace. So this here, I'm just gonna make it a fill stitch. 2, 3, just put the angle. I'm just gonna put it regular angle. All right, and let's make this a fill stitch here. Okay, of course it doesn't look like anything right now. So the trick here is we wanna add these details over here, okay? These lines, these black lines. This is what's gonna give it its details. And since the item's so small, you really can't do too much details in it, or else you're gonna throw too much stitches. It's gonna become a mess. So by putting run stitches, okay, perfect way to give it the details that it needs. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna duplicate our helmet and turn it into a run stitch. Turn it black. Okay, so really, let's turn this red. Okay, so what it's starting to look like is like this. Okay, so now it looks like this. Let's go ahead, let's add the necessary details. Okay, so bam, let's do a all right, so by putting a run stitch, all right, and then bam, right here, go right here, bring it back. All right, we're just adding some we're just adding lines for details. All right, you could add it as a triple run stitches, okay, just to give it more boldness. I'm just gonna add a single stitch for right now. All right, but here, this is what's giving it the small details here. All right, let's see, bam. All right, now it's starting to look like a helmet, right? From a distance, right? So we're gonna see it at this distance here, okay? Of course, we're digitizing it this close, right? But nobody sees it this close. We're this distance here. All right, now, let's go ahead, let's remove some of these cuts. So we're gonna put black and black, apply closest join, and let's hide others, All right, so it's showing here, we have 2 cuts, which is not good. All right, so H here, stops here. We wanted to bring our stop right here. Okay, now we only have 1 cut, okay, right at the very end. So if we replay it, it's gonna do the outside part, there's gonna come in, do the inside. All right, and of course, if you wanna add more boldness, more black to our helmet, you could add a triple run stitch. All right, unhide all, bam, all right. Okay, so now it's looking right. Let's go ahead, let's add some details to our horn. All right, and let me just move this over here. All right, I'm just gonna add this. I'm just gonna add this black line before we do the red. Okay. Yep. Just gives it a little character, right? Kind of shows you that it's what it is. Gives you the shape. Okay. Bam. And we're good here. Let's go ahead. Let's do the ladder. Let's hide others. Okay. Let's do the ladder. And it's all about sequencing here with the ladder. Okay. So let's go and we want to be above 1.5. So anywhere right here. We're good. All right, let's just change this to blue, and we're just gonna bring this up a tad bit. Okay, if you got to change the angle, we could change the angles a bit like that. All right, and then let's do a run stitch going down to the next rung, and change this color. Okay, and copy paste. We're just gonna grab this, grab a piece of this, bring it down. Okay, and just gonna go here. Let's bring a piece here. Let's do this, the leg. Let's take it all the way up. All right, and then escape, select, copy this. All right, a lot of copy and paste stuff, right? Because it's a lot of symmetry here. All right, and then make this blue. All right. Bam, bam, here. So let me check my, we're gonna go here to here. So really what we wanna do from here, we wanna bring this leg, so 42. We go here, so here, down, leg, down, leg, then here, okay? And then we do this final piece here. Let's do this portion that's on top of the ladder. Two, three, put the angle. That's cool. Let's just clean it up a bit. All right, like that. All right. Bam. Okay, looking like a ladder. Now I'm pretty sure it has a bunch of cuts. Let's see. All right, so a bunch of cuts. Let's remove all these cuts. All right, apply closest joint, and bam, they all, that works, that apply closest joint and remove, everything works because we set it up when we're sequencing as we're digitizing. All right, so a big time saver here. All right, this is looking like a very nice looking hook right here. All right, let's make this red. Let's go ahead and do our fire hydrant here. So same thing, we're going to create a fill stitch. All right, of course, you could make it into a sand stitch, make it, give it more details. All right, but just remember where you don't want to put too much details, where you're gonna jam too much needles, all right, and too much thread all in one little space. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, we're not gonna include that top part, okay, because this is already detailed enough. All right, so a lot of that is just personal decision. what to include, what not to include. Sometimes every detail is not necessary. All right, so that's all choices that you got to make. 2, 3, then put the angle. Let's put this angle here. And let's make it a fill stitch. Okay, and select color. Let's select, change this color to red. And what we're going to do, we're going to add the details. So in order to add the details, we're going to duplicate, change this color to black, and change it to a run stitch. All right, now something cool that I want to show you, okay, to add these details. Okay, what we can do, so we got selected black here. We're going to add, okay, so we're going to continue adding to these black lines to add some details. 1, 2, okay, so right now it's looking like this. All right, and then let's add some lines here. Let's go like here, here, here. Right, you could do all that. You could do all this cool stuff here. And let me show you how we're going to go about. All right, so something like this, right? It looks like a, especially from this distance, really looks like a fire hydrant. Okay, so here, of course, we just introduced a bunch of cuts, right? And let's go ahead, branch this. So I here, start here on the bottom. All right. Hide others. All right, so we only have one cut here. All right, so that's cool. That's exactly what we want. Unhide all. All right, bam. Now we're looking good. Okay, we're looking good. And what's this right here? Oh, that's just the ring. That's fine. We don't need this part right here, the shadow. All right, so we're almost there. Okay, looking very good. Let's go ahead and add the text up here. Okay, so I'm pretty sure everybody has text in their software, right? If you have software, most likely you have text, so you should be good here. Let's go ahead. Let's type in fire. I'm going to use, since this is, let's just check the distance real quick. We are looking at 8.4, okay? Not too small, but let's go ahead and go fire. And I am going to use small block 2. Okay, I think it looks very clean. Pretty bold. Fire block 2, create text. All right, and we could put it right here. Just change it, height 14. Let's change it to a 7. All right, and then center it here. We could center it on the x-axis. All right, and then see here, okay, make it space in a little bit. Letter 10, let's go down to an 8. Okay, just a hair line more in. Okay, and then now here we're just going to copy this, place it down here below, and select that. We're going to change it to department, DEPT for short, update text. Okay, and let's make this a little bit smaller. All right, and then pick it up a bit. Bam, look at that. All right, and one last thing here. Let's just change the underlay. Okay, of course we don't want edge run. We want center run. Bam, bam. Center run, take out this second underlay. All right, we should be good. All right, so if you can see it. All right, looking clean. Looking clean. All right, and we've been checking ourselves as we've been moving forward. We've been checking ourselves every step, just so at the very end, all right, less things to go back and fix, okay? So here I have 11 trims, which I think should be good, okay? I think, so for the beginning, red cross, for the red 8-point cross, so that's one there. We're gonna put the outer sand stitch to the end. We have the yellow portion, that was all done in one shot. We have the black outline of the yellow portion. We have the red helmet. We have the black part of the helmet. We have the ladder. And we have the fire hose. Then we have the outline of the fire hose. We have, not fire hose, but fire hydrant. We have the word fire. Then we have the word department, and then we have the sand stitch. All right, 11 stitches. All right, so you should be able to count all your stitches as we were going through. Okay, you should have like in the back of your mind every time you need a cut. Let's look at a replay here. Okay, of course, looking at the replay, very important, because you might miss a couple things. Okay, there might be something that just randomly shows up and you'll catch it here. Okay, so there's different levels of location where you can catch minor mistakes. So this one here is the easy one. Okay, on the replay stitch out, you can catch, right? You'll be surprised how many little small things. You'll even catch like unnecessary underlay. You'll catch unnecessary something, all right? Especially trims or something that's out of sequence, easily catchable here. Okay, next location where you're gonna catch stuff is on the actual stitch out. Okay, so even when I would recommend, if you're stitching something out for the very first time, just stand over it. That way you have a good sense of what's happening. You should already know every move that is happening, and you should also listen. Okay, you should hear anything that's abnormal. All right, so here I'm just making sure nothing's abnormal. Everything is exactly like how we planned it. Okay, so here, right, I caught something right now. Okay, I want a double zigzag underlay. Okay, right now it's just showing a center run. Okay, so it would have been messed up to kind of run it through and then not catching it, right? Catching it all the way in the end. All right, so here I can easily go back, underlay, center run, add that double zigzag. All right, bam. That was the only thing that I caught. All right, and then of course, you want to verify your trims. So I verified my trims. Let's verify the size of this. So when I go to metric, okay, it's at approximately 3 inches. All right, perfect size of what I want to go with. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's stitch this out. And of course, if you have any questions, I know there was times I was moving fast. Okay, sometimes I kind of zone out and I'm in my own world and I miss little small details. All right, let's go ahead. Let's stitch this out and let's see our final product. All right, let's check out the final stitch out. Just exactly like how we programmed it. All right, so as you can see, looks nice and clean. So some stuff that I'm looking out for is my corners. Okay, my corners looking very nice, very sharp. Okay, checking out my black lines. Here my sand stitches look nice and clean. Here my run stitches. Okay, on the horn, looking clean. Text, looking sharp. All right, and then my outer border, see, evenly gap right here. All right, everything's consistent. All right, so everything looks good. Let me know what you think. Okay, and I think it looks good to go. All right, so of course, I'm gonna have this as a free download. All right, looks sharp. Trying to show it to you in different angles. Okay, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next Saturday morning. Peace out.